radio program. Cars Plus. Visit us today during Ram Truck Month. IP&E Fueling Excellence, McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, the waiting game drives on with war claims. One war survivor reacts. Plus, the administration's plans to leverage the Gumatrain Kilodot Gura property may have hit a snag. Funding concerns for the local health department, the administration learns of the financial needs at public health. Hafid, good evening. Guahu Sinik Delgado. 6.4 million. Congressman Mike Sinicklis saying that as of September 2018, the U.S. Treasury has withheld that amount of Section 30 funds owed to cover war claims. We told you about the legislation introduced that would finally get the long-standing issue resolved if passed. Tonight, we hear from an 87-year-old war survivor as he, along with dozens more still living, have waited for this closure for far too long. The legislation is in and now pending action in Washington, D.C. The measure, H.R. 1141, which makes technical corrections to the Guam World War II Claims Fund, could very well be the ticket to get war reparations paid 75 years after the territory has been liberated.
It's good that they're going to pay us for what we had gone through, but I hope that with this survivors payment will ease their pains. And really nothing can ease our pains. And you can have all the money you can get, but you can't get rid of those feelings that you went through, those the atrocities, the chaotic situation like I've gone through. That's a lot.
War survivor Joe Alvarez finds it tough each time he thinks back to the moments that Japanese soldiers invaded the island.
I'll tell you this much, no 10-year-old boy should see what I have seen. We were treated like animals. Whenever human beings treat other human beings like that, it's so hard to accept. Nobody will accept anything like that, but it's hard for the Chamorros because we were, as I remembered it, before the war, everybody takes care of everybody.
He recalls the very moment the war in Guam broke out.
At Mass, the priest said, go home, and because they bombed Upper Harbor. So everybody panicked. We've never seen anything like this.
The next few years for him and his family included hiding out, being enslaved by the Japanese troops, and watching his parents get brutally beaten.
Man, 10-year-old boy to see that, it's really sad. It's really sad. And sorry, I'm getting emotional here. But those atrocities, they beheaded people during the war. They beat people up. They maim them. I know several families that were broken bones because of the beating they have gotten from the Japanese. And man, I hated the Japanese so much that I thought, man, I thought I wasn't normal after that.
Hardships he had to endure until the island was eventually liberated. As they wait for the war claims to finally be given, this retired airman says he has since learned to forgive, but will always remember the traumatic times the war brought to Guam.
That payment is not going to give closure to what we had gone through, because you can never forget that.
H.R. 1141 has been referred to the House Committee on Appropriations. Well, the administration's plan to leverage the Gumatrain Kilodot Gura property may have hit a snag. The reason? The law currently in place is designed to make sure the Tumon property stays in GovGuam's hands. Chris Barnett has more.
By now, it's pretty clear the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is very excited about cashing in on what it calls Gura gold mines.
We have good real estate, and so we're going to see how we can make that perform.
We have properties that are very valuable. Some of the most expensive real estate on this island. We have Gumatrain Kilodot that's worth tens of millions of dollars, if not more.
GURA Director Ray Tapasnia very clear about what he wants to do with the Guma Tranquilidad property in Tumon.
I'd like to consider leasing it long-term to a hotel developer.
But wait a minute. Public Law 28-100, a bipartisan effort authored by former Senator Frank Uggan Jr. in the 28th Guam legislature, says the Tumon Guma Tranquilidad property can't be sold and any developments must be exclusively for the benefit of the island's Manomco. Uggan, in a written statement to KUAM News, says the intent of the law is very clear. He even added Manomco over money. When we asked the former senator if the law would allow long-term leasing of the property to a hotel developer, he said the intent of the law is that we use Guma Tranquilidad to benefit our Manomco, not a hotel developer. If GURA wants to engage a private developer to build better facilities and more units for our Manomco on that property, so be it. And get ready for a plot twist. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero voted for the law. But now she supports monetizing GURA properties.
So we want to make it like an earning asset, not just a property that's just, laying there doing nothing.
She reviewed everything. There were no objections.
Tapasnia tells KUAM News he's not certain if the law will prevent the administration from leasing the property to a hotel developer, but he admits the law is very clear. GURA can't sell the Guma Tranquilidad property. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The next stop on their tour of GovGuam agencies on Wednesday for the governor and lieutenant governor, public health. Though their presence was expected from staff at the Manila facility, the new leaders took some time to shake hands with patients. Since most services are provided at no cost, now they're looking for ways to foot that bill. Carmen Chalahi has this next story.
When Teresa Budana woke up to take her 14-year-old son, Rogelio Lapido, for a checkup at Public Health with visiting doctors from Shriners Hospital in Honolulu, she didn't expect to run into Governor Lou Leon Guerrero. After thanking more staff, the Magahaga and Segundo Magalahi, Josh Tenorio, said goodbye to Rogelio. Only 14 years old, he suffers from epilepsy. His mother visits Public Health to provide him needed care.
Every time I come here, they're all friendly here, and they're fast. It feels good to meet her.
Thank you was the message from the governor to other staff across departments, though these health professionals also voiced a list of issues that pose challenges to their work.
You saw it, we went around prevention, cancer, diabetes, even on the financial part, the health insurance part, Medicaid, MIP, compliance, environmental, inspectors, all for the purpose of assuring the safety of our public. Of course, there's a lot of resources that need to be pumped in. Staffing is a big issue. I'm very concerned that our community health nursing program is down to only 3 nurses.
As a State Department mandated to provide care to all, regardless if the patient can pay, the governor is eyeing billing as a source of revenue.
We're not able to bill here.
Oh, you're not?
No. Just the community health state agency. It's different.
Yeah.
So we don't
well, we
bill
need
here.
to look at that.
Though federal grants often prevent the department from charging, she thinks there are ways to charge a fee for testing at the lab.
But if other islands or other clinics, I think, access the services here, I think we should look into billing for those services.
At the end of the day, she wants to find the resources for public health to focus on prevention.
I think we need to focus. We need to refocus our attitude about healthcare. I know our administration is focused on prevention because we feel that if we have a good prevention program in our community, diseases are decreased, causes decrease, longevity of life is increased, and the overall quality of life, I think, is enhanced.
To increase the quality of life for all patients, like Teresa's son, Rogelio.
More work and then more assistance for those people who need assistance.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
A more open and responsive government. That was one of the campaign pledges of the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration, and so the AG's office held a training session today for government agency heads in an important step toward that goal. Nessa Lecanto reports.
The department leaders were gathered to hear the AG's legal staff discuss transparency, the Open Government Law, the Freedom of Information Act, and how to handle adverse actions. And Attorney General Levin Camacho offered some basic advice.
If you have to err on the side of transparency, and that's really, people may not like the decisions you make, but as long as you're transparent about it, we can understand the decision making and the thought process and evaluate it. So when it comes to trust, there's this idea that all these decisions are being made in back doors and back channels. And again, we're going to tell people, this is the law, you're required to follow it. Our responsibility is to inform you what the law is, and we will hold you accountable if you don't.
AG Camacho says he believes the new administration's call for greater transparency is meant to apply to all public workers.
We're emphasizing directors now, but every government of Guam employee has a responsibility to comply with these laws. So it's difficult to say now 35 to 40 days in, but I haven't heard any complaints yet.
And the higher up the chain of command, the more important it becomes. Elected officials, says the AG, must be held to the highest of standards.
When you're using public money and you have to be held accountable. You have to accept that as part of the job. There will be decisions that I make that are not going to be popular, but as long as I can justify it and there's a public record of it, we have an election every 4 years for my position and 2 years for senators.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Well, enforcement of short-term vacation rentals and bed and breakfasts could be getting the help it needs. Senator Jim Moylan introducing Bill 46, which would increase penalties for those operators who are conducting businesses without a license. It also would create a reward program for those confidentially providing information to Revenue Tax that leads to agencies catching those illegally operating, and would allow DRT to retain a portion of the excess taxes collected from these units for further enforcement. Moylan says his measure would provide Revenue Tax the eyes and ears needed to monitor illegal rentals around the island. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
You can make each connection count with IT&E Prepaid. Talk, text, and share with the best price, daily plans, and rates. Stay in touch with loved ones, whether they're in Tumon, Garapan, San Jose, or even San Paulo, on the widest network in the Marianas. And reach out to friends and followers all over the world with the fastest, most reliable 4G LTE data. IT&E, explore your world.
The Ram 1500, unrelenting capability, groundbreaking style, uncompromising luxury, 2019 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Right now, during Ram Truck Month at Cars Plus and Mighty, save up to $10,500 on new Ram 1500 Crew Cab or the new 2019 Ram 1500 Regular Cab. Only $208 per paycheck. Financing as low as 1.99% is available for those who qualify. Come see for yourself. It's Ram Truck Month at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Welcome back. An Army soldier from Guam was found dead in his barracks in South Korea Sunday. According to the Army Times, the 19-year-old man was found unresponsive in his room. The article quotes a statement from the soldier's battalion commander who said, quote, "They were forever grateful for the commitment he made to his nation, his choice to serve forward in Korea, and the enthusiasm he brought to every mission." The details surrounding the death have not yet been reported. Well, back in court, looking to have his case completely thrown out, Mark Charfris could be in the clear depending on what a Superior Court judge decides once the defense files its motion to dismiss the case.
Double jeopardy.
And that's about it. Mark Charfris' defense attorney Randy Cunliffe is working out the details of his motion to have the case against his client dismissed once and for all. The case involves a 2016 incident in Agate where Charfris, an ousted Guam police colonel, was seen on police body cam footage, yelling at junior officers responding to reports of fireworks. He was demoted, then fired and charged with misdemeanor obstructing governmental functions and official misconduct following the incident. During trial last November, a Superior Court judge declared a mistrial in the case after the responding officer testified that he believed Charfris was affiliated with the local gang, Agate Bloodtown. Defense argued that testimony smeared Charfris' character, resulting in the mistrial.
Generally, if there's a mistrial, there's no double jeopardy. However, if the mistrial is brought about and you're forced to do it because of the bad faith of the prosecution, then they take the bite of the apple and the court can dismiss it for double jeopardy. And since the judge found basically prosecutorial misconduct in their behavior in the previous trial, we're going to ask the court to dismiss it for double jeopardy.
The case, now more than 2 years old, has been in and out of hearings at the local court and the Civil Service Commission.
It's obviously a very difficult situation for him. It's politically brought about, and the guy who was filling his slot was telling everybody he's going to be the next colonel, like it's a done deal that Mark's going to be out.
Following the mistrial, the prosecution said it would review the decision and determine where to go from there. Cunliffe says he will file the motion to dismiss the case in the coming weeks. For now, Charfris is hopeful the termination matter before the Civil Service Commission will be reversed as well, so that he could get his job back with GPD.
The case law from the Supreme Court of the United States is real clear that, your employer can't have you gag you on an issue of, public interest. And, that was something, that story was all over the place. Everybody was reporting it. They were showing the videos, and so it's pretty clear that he has a right to give his side of the story to the press.
Meantime, Charfris will be back in court for a trial setting scheduled for April 2nd. He was caught red-handed. A man is accused of stealing $1,500 worth of items from the Guam Department of Education. Curtis J. Garrido was charged with burglary, theft of property, and possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. Police responded to the report of burglary at the GDOE warehouse in Petey. Employees noticed the place had been broken into. Also, copper wire, tubing, a water blaster hose, bush cutter, various conduits, and aluminum shutters had gone missing. Witnesses helped investigators, though, to track down the suspect. During the search of his home, authorities found the stolen items along with drugs. The suspect told police, quote, "To be honest, it's meth." Major props to the men and women in the Guam National Guard. The Guam Army National Guard's Recruiting and Retention Battalion competed and were recognized during the recent R&R Force Leadership and Director's 54th Annual Training and Awards Conference. It was held in Maryland. The Guam Guard earned 3 major awards. For the small states category, that includes 23 states and U.S. territories, they took home the Retention Excellence Award, the National Guard Bureau HRR Top Recruiting and Retention, and 2019 NGB Quick Draw Challenge. The Retention Excellence Awards assesses the highest overall accomplishments in strength maintenance as measured by recruiting, retention, and attrition. Guam earned the award by focusing recruiting efforts on filling unit vacancies and focusing attrition management and retention efforts on reducing turnover and maintaining more qualified soldiers in their units. Congratulations to our troops. Well, sports is coming up next, but first, a look at your island weather.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Make every day a plus.
Let me ask you a question. Who's the playmaker of this new Big Mac with bacon?
It's the crispy bacon, of course. The flavor brings a whole new dimension to the game.
Bacon does not win championships. Special sauce wins championships, my friend.
You're wrong. And I'm a doctor, which means I'm always right.
Let me get a second opinion from my mouth.
McDonald's Classics with Bacon, only for limited time. Is it the best thing to happen to our classics or to bacon? Try for yourself and decide.
Visitors make memories on our island. They contribute millions of dollars every year to our community. So what does that mean? Tourism keeps our island's culture alive.
And it strengthens our identity as Chamorros.
Tourism creates opportunities for local businesses to thrive.
The dishes I create feature local ingredients.
These ingredients come from local farms and create local jobs for farmers like us.
For every job we see in tourism,
there are hundreds more we don't see.
From teachers
to babysitters
to engineers.
We all work in the tourism industry.
Our visitor industry benefits everyone. It improves our income and gives back to our community.
Meaning more opportunities for a better Guam.
Tourism works for Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. In studio, Chris Bielchino from the Jigo Dojo. Today we're talking about Shinkyokushin Kai Karate. First off, let's talk about the sport in general and what it kind of consists of.
Shinkyokushin Karate is a full contact style. So maybe some people are familiar with traditional karate tournaments where they pull punches, no contact. Shinkyokushin is a full contact style. So in our tournaments, people are hitting as hard as they can. And there's, for the adult division, there's very little protective gear. So no gloves, no shin pads. Basically, the men wear groin cup, the women wear a chest protector, and that's basically it.
And at the Jigo Dojo, you guys have an array of students. You got,
yes.
What's the youngest compared to the oldest student that you guys have?
So right now we accept children as young as 9, and our oldest student, I have a few that are actually in their 60s that are training with us. And they used to train back when they were younger, and they like to continue to train, and it's a lot of fun to have them there because they bring a lot of wisdom with them, a lot of experience, but they still want to train, and they're there just because they love it. They're not necessarily wanting to become world champion, but they love to train and they love the environment. So we're quite fortunate to have them.
And you get a lot of support from Mayor Rudy Matanani over
Yes.
there at Jigo. But you're here to talk about the upcoming seminar, 2-day seminar, which starts on Friday.
Yes, we're bringing out 2 instructors from Japan. Shihan Kenji Midori, who's the president of WKO, and Shihan Yasukazu Koi, who is the executive director and the Tokyo Bay Minato branch chief.
And the sport of Kyokushin Karate, there's been notable guys that have maybe ventured off to different kind of fighting styles, but off the top of the head, who are some of the big notable names in the sport?
Well, like our organization has Dolph Lundgren, very famous Hollywood actor. He's a member of WKO Shinkyokushin Kai. In the MMA world, you have guys like George St. Pierre, Bas Rutten. I'm sure there's a ton of guys that have trained in a full contact style that are in MMA at the moment.
And for the seminar, you guys are going over the basics of sparring and technique and stuff like that. What can we expect at the seminar?
The first day is mainly geared towards traditional training, so learning form, like basic form, learning Ito Gecko, which is moving basics, kata, which is the sequence of movements, like some people call it forms. And then we usually end with some fighting skill, some strategy. Shiami Dori was the 5th world champion in Kyokushin, so he has a ton of experience. So he likes to bring that here and really shares his knowledge and experience with us.
And how does the belt levels go as far as color and ranking?
So in WKO, it starts out with white belt, so you're a beginner. Then orange belt, blue belt, yellow belt, green belt, brown belt, and then black belt.
All right. Information on how people get in contact with you about the upcoming seminar?
They can reach me at 988-4205. They can go to our website, wkoguam.org, or they can email us info@wkoguam.org.
All right, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Start till you get here. It don't feel right unless you're near it. I wanna be where you are. So I kiss you till I'm a shooting star. 'Cause you make the moment. Oh, you make the moment.
So tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's online shopper and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today.
Can I just get it right back?
Now time to take a look at who else is celebrating this week. Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club list.
It's the day before Valentine's Day and a lovely day to celebrate your birthday. Happiest of birthdays to their brother John A. Sapastia from your Mindiola families. And a special happy first birthday to Amber Jo Kanata. Happy birthday, my baby, with lots of love, your mommy and your daddy. And a very special happy birthday to Robert Wolford. Happy birthday, Dad. Blessings today, tomorrow, and beyond. We love you, Jacob and Mia.
And if you want to put your loved one on that Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club list, just register online, KUAM.com. Be sure to include their photo, name, and birthday. And that's going to do it for your primetime news. Good night.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.
Off the day, everybody. Jason Salas here, and thank you so much for watching us on KUM TV or streaming us on YouTube, because we begin this program with a segment you've been waiting for, another featured Guamanian doing amazing things to perpetuate our heritage and culture. It is the latest installment of Culture Club.
37-year-old Audie Taitano said it was several years back when she, along with a couple of business partners, started a publication venture of abundant concept of a guidebook and magazine.
And we were thinking to ourselves, how can we come up with a name that's, pretty catchy, of course local, but not kind of a cliche guidebook name. And it just kind of came to me, only on Guam, right? Everybody on Guam understands what it means. It's comical, but it's because you love Guam and all of those things. So it just kind of stuck.
Taitano said the business ran its course, but deep down, she knew she wanted to keep the only on Guam concept alive. So she began a lengthy trademark journey back in 2014 and started off with one t-shirt that she wanted to brand.
And probably early last year is when myself and my family knew that we had to just kind of try and take it to the next level. And so that's basically what we're doing. We're just trying to brand the phrase only on Guam, and also pay homage to Joe Murphy, who coined the phrase. A while back we actually went to him and we told him what our idea was, because we wanted to get his support in what we were doing and give credit to the man who coined the phrase. And he applauded our efforts and he was totally on board, and so here we are.
Only on Guam is more than just apparel, wanting to appeal to not just the locals but visitors as well. Taitano says they wanted to offer a wide range of products such as hats, tote bags, and more. She hopes to grow it into an experience and eventually have a storefront that will all help in sharing what Only on Guam truly is.
Part of our logo says Hafide Adios, right? So we always say that Only on Guam moments are what are born between Hafide and Adios. So between the time you meet your friends and your family until the time you say goodbye, it's that whole spectrum of what's comical about Guam, the unique things about us, all the way to what's beautiful and amazing about our islands, or our culture, our language, our traditions. And it's really the spirit of Guam, and that's what we're trying to do.
Although born in the States, Taitano's parents moved the family back to Guam when she was in elementary school and has remained on island to this day. And for that, she's grateful.
But I always think to myself that my life would have been so different if I did not have this blessing of being able to grow up on my island, right? And so I think that because I had that foundation, and then I know what life is like to have been able to truly enjoy Guam culture and everything, it sticks with me even more that we need to preserve it, right? So I just think it's our duty as locals, as Chamorros, as Guamanians, to perpetuate what was given to us.
She adds that she has friends all over the world, with some of them coming and visiting the island, and told her that she was very lucky when they hear our language, see our customs and our traditions.
They don't come from a background like that, and what we kind of it's the day-to-day for us. Maybe we don't value it as much just because we're so immersed in it. But I want to make sure, of course, that my son, and the future generations are able to enjoy everything that we grew up with.
If you would like to know more about Only on Guam or see what they have to offer, make sure to follow on Instagram at Only on Guam Official, or visit their website at onlyonguam.com.
And I really couldn't do it without my family. They've been instrumental. And I think that that is the essence of OOG, familia. You really can't do anything without the support and love of your family. So as much as I have this vision of what I'd like it to be, it's really a collective effort. And it's just given us, it's kind of been a gift to us, because for every time we do a pop-up or we have any kind of project, it really just brings us together.
Please stay tuned because KUAM has a special interview when we return.
Smiling is a natural response to joy, happiness, and excitement. Your smile reveals a lot about who you are. A healthy, beautiful smile can brighten your appearance and be an invitation to conversation and friendship. It is often one of the first things people notice about you. Now, thanks to the advancements in dentistry, you can have the smile you have always wanted, giving you an improved smile that looks and feels great.
My silver fillings that I have, they're getting older in my mouth and I need to replace them. So I've started to do that, and I've replaced them with the white fillings, and I've had really great success with that. It looks good, they feel natural, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the bleaching. I want a white look all around my mouth.
It comes only once a week, and you never know what type of brie mix she'll have in store for you.
This, by far, is one of the toughest workouts I have ever done.
From adventures to instructional segments and even an occasional showcase of her hidden talents. In the mix is that weekly dose of fun during the time of the week when you need it most. So take a breather and join Sabrina every Thursday on KUAM TV and streaming anytime on our digital platform.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Hafa and welcome back. Carmen Victoria Chirlagi here on location at the Hyatt with the lovely writer Inara Vizenmix. Very fancy last name. And welcome to Guam.
Thank you so much. Half a day.
Half a day. And tell me a little bit about what you're doing here. I know you have lots of activities planned. On Friday there is an evening with the author as well. Tell us what brings you here to the island.
I am here at the invitation of Humanities Guam to lead workshops for local creative writers, local journalists, local high school students, and then also to give a reading of my work. I am someone who tends to write a lot about place as a character in my writing, and so I'm coming to talk to folks about how they might think about approaching home as something really rich and realized and vivid.
Right. And tell me, you have your book right here. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write that book? I know it is a huge task to come up with such a lovely work. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, I was raised by my grandparents who were refugees from a country in Europe called Latvia at the end of the Second World War, and they ended up settling in the United States. And they raised me from when I was 2 until I was 8. And my grandparents at that time couldn't go back to Latvia, and so the only way that they could return was through stories. And they were always telling me stories about what they had left behind, making very vivid their family farms, their relatives, and so I carried those stories with me, and I actually carried them more as things that helped guide me through life as opposed to something I ever imagined writing about. I was a journalist after all. I was taught not to put myself in the story.
Okay.
And then eventually I reached a point in my life where I was making some big changes and wishing that I could call back to my grandmother. But at that point, unfortunately, she passed away. So I decided to return to the country she had come from, the first time I'd ever been there, and to go back to her lost village and try to find her family.
Wow.
Yeah, so the book recounts that story and finding her sister still alive in her 80s and trying to reconstruct what had happened both to her sister who remained behind in Latvia and what had happened to my grandmother when she fled the country.
Wow. That sounds like a beautiful story. Oh my gosh. So much emotion, I'm sure, that's also attached to this very personal journey of yours. Tell me more about writing. You are a journalist. You have a lot of experience in the writing field. What inspired you to kind of give back to the community here on island? And why do you think people should come and maybe talk to you and join one of those workshops?
One of the things that I feel really strongly about as a teacher and as a journalist is making sure that the stories that we tell don't come from a single voice, making sure that people who want to be able to share who they are and where they come from have the tools in order to do that. They already have the expertise. They already have the understanding. One of the things that I want to do while I'm here is to share what I've learned and to pass that on freely so that people can be able to tell stories from within their own communities and to be able to share that in a broader sense.
Definitely. Now you have a lot of workshops coming up that people can take advantage of. Where can they sign up?
They can sign up on the Humanities Guam website. Go to events and click on events, and in events they'll find a place where they can sign up.
Definitely. And tell me more. I know the Evening with the Author is something that I'm sure you're looking forward to after this very busy week on Friday, and it'll be happening here, is that correct?
Yes, it'll be happening here at the hotel. And one of the things I love about readings is, for me, I wrote the book. In Latvian culture, there's a real connection to language and language spoken out loud. And so when I wrote the book, I wrote it in such a way that even if you don't speak the language, the words themselves mimic the feeling of listening to Latvian. And so for me, every time I read, it's a way that I call back to my grandmother. So yeah, you'll have that opportunity to see me feeling close to home with every word I read, and my gratitude that everyone will be in the audience sharing that with me.
That's really exciting, almost like the words are jumping out of the pages, so to speak. Anything else you'd like to share with us as we're wrapping up? I know that you made a very far trip from your home.
Yes, I did.
What are you looking forward to doing here on Guam besides the workshops?
Well, I am trying every single moment I have to get down to the beach, to be close to the water. I came here from Iowa City, where 2 weeks ago the temperatures had been negative 40. On the day I left, there was an ice storm. I'm trying to figure out how I can wear my bathing suit under my work clothes so that if I have a minute, I can just jump in.
Go for it. I know. Well, welcome here to Guam.
Thank you.
And I know we look forward to all of your workshops. You do have a variety of workshops for children as well, for high school students, college level, and as well as journalists. Finally, I mean, what would you say to any aspiring writers out there about your experience and why they should pursue writing.
I think one of the things that's so important for people to think about when they're wanting to write a book is that they need to trust how they see the world, and they need to trust that where they came from has shaped them in a way that allows them to tell stories that no one else can, and to have faith in that and to believe in that and to give time to that.
Right.
Writing is long, hard, lonely work, but oftentimes you can find ways to connect with other people who can reassure you and who can help support you and who can say to you, yes, you have the words that no one else has. And so things like this workshop, but also looking for other opportunities on the island to support one another in telling your stories.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Inara. If you want to meet her, don't forget you can come to the evening with the author on Friday.
You can make each connection count with IT&E Prepaid. Talk, text, and share with the best price daily plans and rates. Stay in touch with loved ones, whether they're in Tumon, Garapan, San Jose, or even San Paulo, on the widest network in the Marianas. And reach out to friends and followers all over the world with the fastest, most reliable 4G LTE data. IT&E, explore your world.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're gonna be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're gonna be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family. Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Start your day the KUAM way with our new streaming shows on Facebook Live each weekday. Here's your starting lineup. Mondays will give you a glimpse into our morning meetings with the KUAM news team. Tuesdays, join our group chat with Chris Barnett. Wednesdays, it's crime time with the island's law enforcers. Thursdays, get the latest info with Dave Delgado, who's in the zone. And Fridays, we get Fit AF, fitness and fun. And the best part, all our shows are completely interactive, so you're directly part of the conversation. Join us Monday through Friday starting at 9 a.m. Start your day the KUAM way. We're leveling up partnerships at KUAM, giving advertisers a chance to showcase brands, services, and to provide useful information to consumers. Promotional sponsor partnerships provide fun and engaging content for viewers to enjoy and build top-of-mind awareness. Marketing consultant today how they can develop a customized partnership with you.
Health Check with Nurse Jen Artero every Tuesday for community health information, advisories, and news you and your family can use for leading a healthier lifestyle. Health Check during KUAM News Healthy Living. Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
The Good Life, all month long on the stations and networks of KUAM. Check the KUAM News app or KUAM.com for all program listings.
All right, boys and girls, and I say that very literally because our friends at the Pacific Historic Parks Organization are holding a very special event, Book Buddies, at the War in the Pacific Park. Amanda O'Brien is here, and we are going to find out about creating a love of literacy that is lifelong.
It is lifelong.
All right, and you are a fellow reader.
I am.
As myself.
Yes, I am a voracious reader.
Very, very nice to see you. You are always welcome here. We would love to have you on the set. Anytime you want to come back and talk about books.
Yeah.
And I find that fascinating because when people think of national parks or things that involve the outdoors,
right.
Reading probably isn't the first activity you probably want to do because it's like, hey, go out and explore, learn new things, contribute, work in the field and everything like that.
Yeah.
But you're actually combining the two schools of thought.
Yeah. So reading at the parks is great because you can do it anywhere. When I grew up, my mom always told me, make sure you have a book with you because you might need to wait or you might need to read or you might need to entertain yourself.
That is a great mandate from a parent.
Yeah. And so our park is great to go out and hike in, but you can go out and sit at the beach and read. And there are so many books written about the national parks. So if you're someone who lives here on Guam and you haven't had a chance to go out and explore the rest of our country or the rest of the world, the books are a great way for you to travel without ever leaving your house.
Mm-hmm. Now, would you also say, like, if you read, do you also encourage people maybe like to take their iPad or their phone? You can read Wikipedia. You can, because you can learn about the world in that way as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
Any reading
This isn't
is
just
good
stuffy.
reading.
It has to be on the printed page.
Right.
You can take advantage of technology.
Exactly.
Awesome.
If you have a Kindle or an iPad, definitely read on that.
Okay, so I know you have brought a prop, and
Yes.
most people are familiar with. We'll go ahead and get a tight shot of that. But Flat Stanley is a well-known brand.
Yes.
Very beloved.
He's a classic book, and when you're talking about reading at the national parks, it may not be the first choice that comes to mind to people. It doesn't maybe fit necessarily. But what's great about Flat Stanley, it's a story of Stanley Lambchop who gets flattened in his sleep. And when he wakes up, he's a flat boy. And because of his new flatness, he has many adventures.
Sounds very bizarre, but it works.
Yeah. And so one of the adventures he has, instead of flying to California to see a friend, his dad sticks him in an envelope and mails him to California.
Nice.
And so over the years, many teachers and many parks have started Flat Stanley programs where they use like Flat Rangers or Flat Stanleys to kind of like an avatar to do the traveling for the student. And so when they come to the park with us, they will be reading Flat Stanley. They'll be making their own Flat Rangers, and then their Flat Rangers are going to travel to other national parks so they can learn about more of the great parks in our country.
Oh, wonderful. And do young participating children, do they have the ability to, kind of like customize these? I see with this, you put like a pair of sunglasses on, he's got the nice goatee.
Yeah, we want them to make it look like them. So I made it look like one of our rangers at the park, Ranger Art.
Nice.
But we want it to be them. So
thanks for the love, Amanda.
Yeah.
Shout out.
So yeah, whatever.
That is delightful.
Yeah. And then their ranger will travel around the country and they'll get to learn more about national parks and they'll get mail sent to them, which in this digital age is, I think, a great thing to get actual mail in your mailbox. So.
Being a pen pal is a very wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is incredible. Okay, so how are young people responding to this so far? Because I know, again, with technology, like a lot of kids, almost take for granted the ability to read and the ability to, transfer themselves to another planet, another time.
Right.
Be somebody else, do anything.
Right. So we've had a lot of interest and talking to people in the community, everybody seems very excited about it. We've talked to a lot of teachers who are very excited about our program as well. We still have spots available. Sign up is through next Tuesday, February 19th. So they just need to come to the park and fill out a registration forms and do a refundable $20 deposit to hold their spot, and then they can join us.
Now, what if they want to bring some of their own books? Like, because part of the joy of reading is sharing the experience with others, and people may say, hey, you know, I've got this book, I think everyone else would enjoy it, as did I.
Yeah.
I'd like, okay.
We always encourage sharing of passion and interest. So if they want to bring a book to share with other people and spark interest, we would love that. But the program itself next Saturday will just be focusing on Flat Stanley, and we're going to be doing activities related to that. But one other thing that they will get to do as part of our program is they'll get to join our Explore 1000 Books Club.
Yes, book club.
Yes. So over the next year, after they join us for Book Buddies, everybody gets one of these Explore 1000 Books journals to take home. And then they have a year to read 1,000 books. And every time they reach 100 milestones, so 100, 200, 300, they come back to the park, they get it signed by a ranger, they get a sticker and a small prize, and then if they accomplish the 1,000 books, they get some free books to add to their home library.
Okay, and just to be fair, before we close out, we got to go to commercial break, but reading, you don't have to do War and Peace every single time.
No,
a comic book is reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated is reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything. And it's not 1,000 different books. It's you can read the same book 4 or 5 times because that helps build fluency and literacy skills.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Amanda. This is a wonderful program, and please come back like as soon as you can. We'd love to hear how it's progressing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you then, and we will see you on the flip side of this commercial break.